They make it about personal character attacks on the former president of the United States and our Republican presidential candidate.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No,
what you're
ain't
reading.
nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the minority.
It's pretty self-evident.
You're not.
Yeah, you're not. You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
The Republican-led House Oversight Committee is typically a clown show, but last night it exploded into a TMZ/Real Housewives of DC style drama, with politicians shouting at one another, hurling direct personal insults at one another, and culminating in a very tense standoff between Marjorie Taylor Greene and two Democrats, AOC and Jasmine Crockett. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bell before you go. All right, friends, we have several clips to look at in this video, okay? So for context, the House Oversight Committee met yesterday, late last night, as a matter of fact, to decide whether or not they're going to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress. For context, the reason they want to do that is because Garland is refusing to hand over audio files of conversations between President Biden and Special Counsel Robert Hur. But it's important to note, Republicans have the transcripts of all the conversations, so do the public. Attorney General Garland released all that information, but the Republicans want the audio files because they're hoping to hear President Biden sound old or feeble, and then they can use it for political purposes. And for that reason, Garland is refusing to provide the audio files. He says, listen, you have the content, you have the transcripts, you have everything you need, but we're not going to help you politically damage the president, especially for no legislative purpose. So with that in mind, we're going to start here with Jamie Raskin, because he explains why the meeting was at like 11 p.m. as opposed to 11 a.m. when it was originally scheduled.
Now, our originally scheduled performance was supposed to be at 11 a.m. today, but it was postponed when members of the majority chose to join a mass spiritual pilgrimage to the New York criminal trial of a Florida man, an adjudicated fraudster and rapist, as he faces 34 felony counts of falsifying corporate financial records to cover up $130,000 paid in hush money to a porn star sex partner.
So if you catch that, there were many members of the House Oversight Committee on the Republican side who wanted to skip the hearing to go, venerate their cult leader, Donald Trump, right, to basically hype him up. And that's why the meeting was scheduled. And Jamie Raskin is calling them out for that. And this is really where the drama began, because shortly thereafter that, Marjorie Taylor Greene began to heckle the Democrats because she was very upset and very offended, which brings me to the first major notable instance in which Marjorie Taylor Greene starts to lose her cool.
I'd like to know if any of the Democrats on this committee are employing Judge Merchan's daughter.
Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Is she a porn star?
Oh, Goldman. That's right. He's advising. Okay.
He's advising who? What? Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No,
what you're
ain't
reading.
nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
would
even
you
you,
please
Green.
regain
That's beneath
order
even
of your
you.
committee?
Order.
Please.
There's a point of order.
We have a point of order, Mr. Lynch.
This is where things obviously start to go off the rails. So Judge Merchan is the presiding judge in Donald Trump's Manhattan trial. I don't know why, whatever the political biases of his daughter, the profession of his daughter has to do with him. Aileen Cannon was appointed by Trump, and she is presiding over the Florida classified documents case, and Republicans say that doesn't matter. So why in Manhattan does the judge's daughter, right? It'd be different perhaps if the judge himself were a Democratic operative, but even if his daughter is, what's the point of that? And what does that have to do with the meeting? So when Jasmine Crockett, the Democrat there, says, what does this have to do with the meeting? Marjorie Taylor Greene loses her temper and insults Jasmine Crockett directly. That's what's called making personalities, is the parliamentary term. She is making direct personalities at her colleagues, which is a breach of not only decorum, but the rules. And again, this is where things go off the rails. And AOC jumps in because she's furious.
I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Greene's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack
meeting will
the
suspend.
physical
Meeting will
appearance of another
suspend.
person?
Are your
Move
feelings hurt?
her words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play. with
Baby
me.
girl?
We're gonna,
I don't think
we are going to
so.
move, and we're going to take your words down.
I
Thank you very
second
much.
that motion.
So who will have to pay? Okay. All right.
If her words are taken down, if they're struck down, that means that Marjorie Taylor Greene wouldn't be able to speak. She'd have to leave the room under the rules. And you can probably expect where this goes because James Comer, the Republican chairman, he doesn't want to get rid of Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? So he bends the rules. And this goes on, by the way, not just for like a 5-minute spread, but like a 30-minute spread, this back and forth and them having to pause and consult with, you know, the council of each parties on the rules and how to adjudicate. But in the meantime, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Democrats continue to hurl insults at one another.
Okay. Ms. Greene agrees to strike her words.
I believe she
Chair
needs to
recognizes
apologize. No.
Mr.
She
Perry.
needs to
Okay,
apologize.
hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms. Greene
I'm not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
then
Okay,
you're
reserve
not
the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
Mr.
not
Perry.
apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the
it's
minority.
pretty
No,
self-evident.
Chair you're not.
Yeah, you're
out
not.
of order.
You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry.
Okay, move to strike
I'd
the.
like to
I
strike
move to
those
strike the
words
lady's
as well.
words.
move to
I would
strike-
like
Move to strike the
as
lady's
well.
words again.
That's 2 requests to strike. That's 2 requests to strike.
Oh, they cannot take the
There's
words.
another motion to strike her words again. Please
All right.
get
Okay.
your members under
Here's
control.
the correct parliament. Ms. Greene, do you agree to unanimous consent to strike your words?
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll strike
right.
my words,
That-
but I'm not
all right.
apologizing.
Without objection.
Okay. So again, and I want you to note this because it's relevant to another clip I'm going to play of Marjorie Taylor Greene from that very hearing, okay? Note how she is insulting and trying to bait the Democrats. She's insulting them, then saying, oh, can you not handle it, right? This is how Republicans behave. It's very important because then they try to apply a different set of standards for themselves and their cult leader. But again, just another clip as well to show the ongoing back and forth. Then you hear from Representative Luna, who is a MAGA Republican from Florida. She also jumps in the fray.
Ms. Greene for 4 minutes and 21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Who's
It's me.
Ms. Crockett?
I don't know if the camera will cut to her, but this is Jasmine Crockett, the person that Marjorie Taylor Greene insulted about fake eyelashes. So keep this in mind.
Just curious, just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's
Hold on.
I'm
parliament.
trying to find clarification on what qualifies.
Chairman, motion to
I
strike
had no
those
idea
words.
what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just
You just voted to do
Y'all did
it.
it first, so you don't want to talk about it.
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get
Okay.
clarification.
Look at calm down. Calm
No,
down.
because this
I
is
would
what
like to
y'all
get
do.
through proceedings.
So I'm trying
Hey,
to get
Ms.
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Ms.
games.
I can't hear
Crockett.
you with your
And you
yelling.
don't want
calm
me to
down.
Be,
Can
no,
you please calm
don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then
You're out of control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
That's the point right there. Jasmine Crockett is dead on the money. They want to be able to throw insults out, but can't handle it. And by the way, the insults, those direct personal attacks, Democrats actually refrain from engaging in them. Now, there may be a lot there to insult for Republicans. There's plenty to insult about Republicans, but Democrats actually observe the decorum until Jasmine Crockett made a point. Okay, listen. So if what Marjorie Taylor Greene said is acceptable, hypothetically, could I say this about Marjorie Taylor Greene? And seeing Jamie Raskin's face, like, oh, this is taken on a whole new level. Hilarious stuff. Now, with all that in mind, it's really important. With all that in mind, this actually goes to the double standard that I say that Republicans try to impose on the rest of us, folks. They really do, okay? Because this is Marjorie Taylor Greene a few minutes later whining about President Trump's feelings. Okay, this is what she has to say.
I'd also like to remind the committee and anyone watching this that every single time we hold a committee hearing and oversight committee, the Democrats attack President Trump repeatedly. Doesn't matter what the issue is, doesn't matter what the topic is, they can't produce facts, They can't produce anything to make their arguments. They make it about personal character attacks on the former president of the United States and our Republican presidential candidate.
I know what you're thinking. Really, Marge, you of all people? I understand. But also, just to really sear the point home before I make my commentary on it, I love playing this clip because it's the ultimate trump card for MTG and her desperate flails at civility, one-sided civility. This is what Marjorie Taylor Greene has said publicly about everyone else in the Democratic Party, and not just Democratic politicians, but Democratic voters as well.
She says that are over the top, like
the Democrats are a party of pedophiles.
I would definitely say so. They support grooming children.
Okay, so here's where we are. I want you to wrap your heads around this. Marjorie Taylor Greene will insult every Democrat in this country. She says the Democratic Party is the party of pedophiles and groomers. She'll say it publicly. She'll say it repeatedly. She'll insult directly President Biden. She disrespects President Biden all the time, publicly, privately. It doesn't matter. But she can't handle when Democrats give even a fraction of it back to her or to Donald Trump. This is what I mean, and this is so important. I really, if there are like three things I want you to take away from this, this is one of them. We will not accept double standards. Folks, if you're watching this, you're probably liberal or progressive, right? Probably not conservative, which means if, based on my experience, you are inclined to allow yourself to be held to a higher standard than your opponent. Because again, it's that Michelle Obama ethic. When they go low, we go high. With all due respect to Michelle Obama, that is a terrible ethic for modern politics. We don't have to go as low as Republicans, as often as Republicans go, but we are not obligated to be kind to the most egregiously uncivil and cruel political movement in history. We are not inclined to hold our politicians, to tell our politicians, our representatives, hey, listen, don't insult Marjorie Taylor Greene. Don't insult Donald Trump. That's beneath you. Just let them insult you whenever you want. Just take it on the chin. Do not respond. I'm sure eventually they'll stop. No. Folks, it is perfectly acceptable for Jasmine Crockett, for Jared Moskowitz, for AOC, for Jamie Raskin, for President Biden to hurl insults at Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans like him, like Marjorie Taylor Greene. They do not care about civility. They are snowflakes. They're cowards. They're hypocrites. They're losers. They want the right to say whatever they want, whenever they want, about whomever they want. People in blue cities, blue states, women, marginalized groups, minorities, the disabled, progressives, Democrats, the media. It doesn't matter. They want full license to say and do whatever they want. And then they will unironically, without a shred of irony, without a shred of self-awareness, cry and complain if you give a fraction of it back. They're losers, and we should make fun of them. We should belittle them. We should say, listen, Marge, if you don't want to hear insults about Donald Trump, then never insult Joe Biden. Never insult Bernie Sanders. Never insult AOC, Jasmine Crockett, whatever. If you want civility, you must give civility. If you're not going to give civility, then you're not going to receive civility, because we won't be held to disparate standards. That is the message that we should send to MAGA Republicans across this country. Let me know what you think in the comments.